back to the Weekend Garden Show, Soil Soldiers, and happy Saturday to you. As you see here, we are at Lowe's, and I came to get some dirt for my sister, but I couldn't resist the clearance section, and I found these blackberry plants that were on the clearance rack, and they were marked at $30, so because they're over, they're 50% off, and I'm super excited about that. Now there are 3 blackberry plants under there that I'm showing you, but look at the baby I found. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. It's huge. It needs some loving though, but look, it's the same price as the other ones. And if it's tagged correctly, this is the Columbia Giant. This is the largest blackberry in the world. I am super excited to find this, and I really hope that it is what it says it is. Got fruit on it, and I'm just thrilled to pieces. Can't wait to get it back home to Fort Veggie. All right, we have made it back from Lowe's, and here is a closer look of this blueberry. Now, you can see why it was on the clearance rack to begin with. Look at all that foliage, just as crispy and dry as it wants to be, right? But if you can see past all of that, those thick canes still look really good to me. And there's still a lot of very, very green top growth. Uh-oh, trying not to get poked in the eye here. But look at this. I think this plant is absolutely positively possible to save. And that is what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to pop some gloves on and let's start removing all of this dead foliage. But it looks like they have mulched with pine needles, which is great because pine needles are acidic and blackberries do like acidic soil, right along with raspberries and blueberries. From what I understand, your leaves, if they have like a bronzy color to them versus just like a really nice green, that means that the pH of your soil is off. So if you have blackberry bushes where it's looking a little more bronzy, you might need to add a little more acid to your soil so that it'll go back to its regular green color. So here's a quick check that I was just doing as I'm going through. Okay, so here is the branch that I figured was also dead and gone. But I scraped it right here and there's still some life in it. And it had enough life in it to push out. See here? Super brown, dried up looking, but it pushed out this branch right here, which has a berry on it. Oh, actually 2. Okay, so that has a little life on it. This, that has this sort of V section right here, this is super dry. This is gone. Here's a close-up of what I'm trying to say. I scraped that right there. There's nothing left to this. This is a wrap. So this we're going to remove, and this guy we're going to keep, at least for now, because apparently once blackberries fruit for you on these canes, they won't ever fruit again on these same canes. So if you want to have additional fruit growing, you will need to remove the cane after it fruits in order to get new growth. All right, so the pruning is coming along, and my next step is to hose this thing down, because look what I just found. And this, I was gonna hose it down anyway, but this is proof that you need to hose it down. When you get plants from these nurseries, especially things that are on clearance, you have no idea what you could be bringing home and introducing into your garden. Look at this. Let's see. can I? It is the same color as the daggone branch. You see that? Oh no. You got to go. I'm not sure what type of bug that is. Oh, I didn't lose him. I'm trying to keep my eye on him and show him to you at the same time. This is it right here. Does anyone recognize this bug? It almost looks like a baby stink bug or something. Is that what it is? I don't know. But if you are aware, please put it down in the comments below. Now that I've got it hosed down and prayerfully bug free, let's continue the recovery process. So now I'm taking a closer look at the leaves and I see spots like this and like this. So I'm going to use a plant app that I have called Picture This, which helps you to identify a plant, and it also provides diagnosis. Now this is like a hole, so that browning could be stress from the fact that this leaf was torn. But I'm going to use that app and let's see what it tells us about some of the spots that I'm seeing here. So this is the app. It's called Picture This. You're going to select Diagnosed and then Auto Diagnose, and then you're going to take 3 pictures. The first picture is one of the whole plant. So do your best to get an angle that tries to illustrate the entire plant and take that picture. Okay? Then you see it show up there. Then you're going to take 2 more pictures of the sick parts of the plant so that the app can try and identify for you what is going on. So really zoom in on those problem areas and take a picture, and then you'll see them show up as well. And then the last picture, get another angle. If it's just one leaf, then get another angle of that leaf, or take another picture of a different part of the plant that also is having a problem and get a good picture of that as well. And you'll see that appear. Click Start Diagnosing, and voila, it's brown spot. Oh no! So we discovered some pest, and we discovered a little bit of plant disease, right? So you know how it can be confusing to know if you should put on bug spray first or if you should put on sunscreen first? So it's going to be the same kind of situation with this plant. Should we treat the bug problem first, or should we treat the brown spot possible fungal infection first? So with your own skin, you want to apply your sunscreen first, right? You want to apply whatever it is that's going to protect your skin first. Let that sunscreen rub into your skin. That is going to be your protection from harmful UV rays. And then you're going to apply your bug spray to have that smell deter the mosquitoes from eating you alive, right? So we're going to apply that same principle to the plant here. And we are going to first treat it for the skin problem that it has, which is that brown spot. So we're going to use our copper fungicide. I have a little bit mixed into some water here, and we're going to spray this baby down. And because I'm going to apply this, that one blackberry that was on there, it's got to go. You don't want to be eating anything that has direct contact with this solution. So grab my snips and let's go ahead and say bye-bye to our one blackberry. There it is. So sad, but for the wealth of the plant, the betterment of the entire plant, we're gonna let that go. All right, let's treat this skin problem. So while we are waiting for the plant to dry a little bit from the fungicide application, let's start working on the new soil mixture. So here is my container. It's a pretty large pot. Okay. At the bottom, I just have some branches from the trees in my backyard, just to fill out some of that, because blackberries don't need a super deep container. They need about a foot to grow down into. Anything more than that is just extra space. But they do need a wide container because they like to spread out versus go down. All right, I'll be using this Stay Green flower and vegetable garden soil that you can get from Lowe's as my base. And to that, I'll be adding some mushroom compost and then some perlite. And then I'll be amending it with some bone meal, some of that Pride Lands mixture I've been using. So far, so good with that. And also the Soil Acidifier. All right, let's do it. By the way, I did decide to go with mushroom compost versus like a black cow or any other type of manure, because mushroom compost is actually slightly more acidic than those other manures. Now we have a pot of loose, organic, well-draining soil. Add the soil acidifier. You can also use baritone if you have that, because it'll provide the same benefit. Here's the plant, and originally I was going to keep the pine mulch that it came with, because again, that's another acidic element that might make this plant happy. However, since we have the whole bug situation, who knows what could be hanging out in there. So I'm going to ditch the mulch. I'm going to ditch the mulch, and then we can go ahead and pot it up. Now that the mulch is out of there, let's see if we can loosen this baby up and get it in its new home. It also helps that this particular variety is thornless. So I'm not getting scratched to pieces as I work with it. If your blackberries are not thornless, please be careful. It isn't like root bound at all. There's some roots coming out there. This was a good time to do this. That's great. Wow, like the depth of the hole I made was just spot on. All right, let's get it oriented a little bit better there. Let's go ahead and add the soil acidifier. I wanted to do this last because the packaging recommends that you incorporate it around the drip line of the plant. Now, this plant's drip line far exceeds this container, but I am just gonna go on like the outermost edge here. Can you all see that? There we go. I'm just gonna create like a little row here, and I'm gonna take this row all around the pot and create a little bit of a edging border. So you saw me just sprinkle it in, nothing too crazy. And once you've got it in, you're just gonna cover it up. It's time to make sure we don't have any more of whatever those bugs were, okay? So to do that, we're going to be using this cold pressed neem oil. So make sure it's cold pressed. Don't get any of that other weak stuff. All right. In this bottle, I have water. I have a little squirt of Dawn dish detergent, which acts as a emulsifier to help the oil stick to the plant. Okay. And of course, the neem oil. All right. So you want to just give this a swirl to get everything incorporated. Don't shake it, because then you'll have like a bubble bath going on in your bottle. Okay. Once everything is incorporated like that, spray it down. Beautiful. We are in the home stretch of our blackberry rescue. In this jug right here, I have a mixture of 511 and More Bloom. All right, there we go. We gave it a nice drink, just about half a gallon, just about. Now that that's done, the last step here is to mulch it in so that it can hang on to that moisture. There she is in all her glory. I still cannot get over that this plant was $15. I think that is absolutely sensational. But she's all tucked in. Nice layer of straw mulch, not too deep, you know, just a nice little covering to keep it moist. Leaves are perking up. It's been treated with the fungicide. It's been treated with the neem oil. And I really think it's going to do well. There's still plenty of foliage on it, even after kind of a heavy pruning, you know, because I really just didn't want to keep any of those leaves on there in case it would continue to spread anything, right? And look, right next to it is the other plant rescue. This is the fern. I don't know if you all saw the short I made. Another plant I found in the clearance section at Lowe's was this huge Boston fern that had sun damage, and it's really coming along. Do you see the size of this thing? I mean, honestly, just so thrilled. So thrilled. So keep your eyes peeled when you're out at these big box stores. You never know what you might find. I think these two look really great. Now, this will definitely not be the blackberry's permanent home. I am just keeping it on the porch until my netting comes in that I ordered. I have quite a bit of birds here, and you know I got them squirrels. And this isn't something that is going to fit inside one of my Fort Veggie tents. This is already a large plant, and it's just going to get even bigger. So I'm going to leave it outside, but I'm definitely going to cover it in netting. So until that netting arrives, it'll live here on the porch where I can keep an eye on it. So that does it for today's episode. I thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me. If you had a good time, if you learned something, if you just liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button. And I hope to see you all next time on the Weekend Garden Show.